Who would like to roll for recap?
Yeah.
Right. So closest to 20.
I'm also happy to do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's written in the chat, so like
Fine.
I will add to that though. Okay. So guys, welcome back to a prayer where most of us meet in a small taxi cart, except for Cass, on the way to the Fang. In this cart is three mysterious PCs. We have Sparks, Astra, and Brian.
Oh my god, Astra. Sparks.
Very cute. Accompanying them is Ender, whose name we actually don't know, but it is Ender, who is searching for a prince, but doesn't know where he is. He thinks he'll meet him at the Temple of Bahamut. The rest of them traveling for their own purposes. Bluey, heading out from Melas, has a symbol of Carmentrand, very cool. Astra, trying to gain knowledge. Brian, who can say? He smells a bit. He's very dirty. We don't know what he's doing. We continue on the cart, which is, before we go into Bandit Country, we have a new arrival, who is a drow. He looks a bit stressed, a bit under the weather. Doesn't really talk very much. I think his name was Duncan.
It was Duncan.
It was Duncan. We headed into Bandit Country on the way to the Fang, and we were accosted by two bandits. Who could have guessed? Kaylee, our taxi driver, got us out mostly scot-free with the help of Bluey. However, we were robbed. Mostly Bluey. Bluey was robbed blind. Ender's papers, a few of them went missing. And Brian was robbed of 10 platinum pieces. Bit sad. Continued on, went to the very end, managed to get out, no casualties, except for Duncan. It turned out Duncan has been dead for 10 days. Somehow. We don't know how. Ender and Kaylee were like, oh, we're going to go to the Temple of Bahamut to investigate how this corpse that has been dead for so long managed to climb on the cart and talk to us. Bit weird, bit strange. Brian, has a meeting in the Fang and says that he is going to dip because he needs to get to his meeting in the Fang. So he runs away. Astra and Sparks are like, hey, Ender, your papers, they had a portrait that looked really similar to that dirty guy. And Ender's like, no, couldn't be him. He's a prince. He wouldn't be that dirty. But Astra and Sparks are just like, no, we're gonna follow him because I feel like that's bad news. And he is a teenager and needs to know that he is in danger. So they head off after Brian, who heads to the Fang. Ender and Kaylee take the body, Temple of Bahamut. They all arrive in the Fang, and Brian meets Loran Dehane, who he is paying, essentially, to bring him to Ironstone and basically to babysit him. Mm-hmm. And Loran Dehane brings him into a tavern, and swiftly following.
Yes. I think a few extra tiny weeny details, which I think are really fun, but we've just added into this campaign, is that Ulster's mum has set up an apartment for him so that he can live properly rather than being homeless. And he's basically a trust fund baby.
You don't know that.
You guys don't know that.
He looks like a vagrant, guys.
He looks like a vagrant. But anywho, taking us back into the adventure. Before we can carry on in the tavern, I have to reverse in time slightly, if that's okay. Cass, just as you put a bit of toast in your mouth.
Are you ready to roleplay? Puts toast in mouth. You're muted, George.
It's my first day of school, and I'm running late.
As you feel the ship tipping back and forth beneath your feet. A familiar feeling, one you're very comfortable with by now after so long of being Loran's quartermaster on his ship, the Valentine. You and a couple of the other crew members are sitting up on the top deck, trying to take a break from ship things, from your daily tasks upon the ship. And Loran looks at you with a glitter in his eye and says, "Shall we go have a drink from my more cultivated stuff?"
Always.
Mhm.
Enjoying the ship for seawater.
Yeah, everything up here is a bit tainted. And you guys go back downstairs, down to Loran's sort of cabin, which has his sort of office at the front. And here he unlocks a crystal glass cabinet, inside of which are the most luscious and like sumptuous looking liqueurs, drinks, etc. The most beautiful.
That's how he pays Cass.
It's beautiful and sought after in all the countries that you've come to, including some that you've bought on recommendation as gifts for him, or some that he has bought on your recommendation for himself. And he pulls out a bottle of blood orange liqueur.
Tasty.
And he pours a tasting glass for himself and half a tankard for you.
Yes, as accurate.
Keep your crew happy.
And he takes a sip. And everything is pleasant and nice, and it's fun to be away from the rest of the crew. You've you've worked with him longest.
Aren't we all serving Loran in the end?
Longest of everyone else who's on the ship at the moment. And you can read his moods pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And although you can tell he's trying to relax, he lets out a very deep, long sigh.
What's wrong? Spill it.
It's just, I don't appreciate being at the beck and call of some queen across the seas. You obviously know I'm off to get the prince.
Yeah, well, it's going to pay well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
If he has the money. He's apparently, I've heard this, been alone for 2 years. If, and this is a big if, Mother Dearest has sent him the cash, then I think he might have been robbed blind by this point. He's a prince. He can't have any survival skills.
Yeah, he's probably just used to being spoon-fed and
Oi!
sitting on a velvet chair.
Cass, if when we get there, he can't pay, I have a couple of thoughts.
Ransom.
I wasn't going to say that. I probably have to make a show of employing him on the ship. But we can message his mother, let them know that he didn't have what he needed to pay up my fare, and see how much we can get out of them.
Yes. I like this idea.
I've got nothing against him.
No, I'm sure he's as nice as any prince is.
Loran laughs. That remains to be seen. Like I said, nothing against him. I just...
What's he prince of again?
some big ice sheet.
Do they have lots of ships?
No.
Or are they sort of okay? In that case,
No
we can
one
definitely.
really knows anything about them.
Okay, then I feel like we
I know a
can
little
definitely ransom him because we don't want to get on the wrong side of like some rulers with a fleet because that might cause issues for us. But like if they're sort of stuck in ice, then that should be fine.
A diplomatic ransom. We'll plan this as we go. I just wanted to make sure that we were both aligned in this. If he can't pay, then we'll have to figure out a more creative way to get what we need.
Can certainly try and ransom him.
The one thing we have to be certain of, and I need your help with this, especially if he's been on the run for 2 years, is even if he can't pay, even if he has no money on him at all, if he goes missing under my watch, I'm fucked. So
Yeah.
just
Okay. So no murder, just like
no.
just like
Jesus
small.
Christ, that last guy, absolutely.
Just like that last guy we killed him over the boat. Didn't matter. No one knows he's missing. No
nobody's
one
gonna-
cares.
Look at his sweet face, guys.
I feel like a few people might miss this one.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do like some like diplomatic ransoming that's not really ransoming, and then we'll keep him in good. But we'll keep him in. Yeah, we'll keep him in good spirits because it wouldn't hurt to get a royal that likes us.
Mm. Especially with the taxes going up these days. There's only so much I can talk my way out of paying our way.
Yes,
Tax evasion.
Tax evasion.
always. Well, we could go steal some more stuff from another ship. That's always fun.
I did hear that there was a prey and trading vessel coming along this way previously. Now, I don't condone piracy, but I do condone sneaking onto the ship in the dead of night and stealing their cargo.
Yes, which are very separate things. Yeah,
Which just
I mean,
fun. We don't have
at the
fun
end
anymore. You know,
at the end of the day,
yeah.
if they're not protecting their goods, they don't deserve their goods.
Cass, I love you.
Always.
Right, let's get smashed and then go steal their ship.
You guys
Yes,
are mean.
And we'll look good doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. I like the fact that Lorraine and Cass are friends in this.
Yeah, I know. It makes
Also,
sense.
Dangerous.
in my head canon, they met the same way that Lorraine and Cass actually met in our campaign, and the fact that Cass started a tavern brawl with Lorraine, and then they became friends, and she just joined us.
100%. 100%. Now, Cass, you have flashbacks of drinking until you couldn't stand. Wow. So do I. Flashbacks of like seeing double as you clambered onto the magic carpet and you sped across the seas and you whacked some guards in the back of the neck to knock them out and you snuck down and got some gold. It was a great time. It was a really good time. In fact, it was such a good time that you didn't even notice the ship dock and pull in at the Fang. Even here, when all of the rest of your crew filtered off the ship to move the cargo, you kind of just wake up in a daze, like slightly hungover, more than slightly hungover, and kind of rough on your feet, realizing that you have in fact arrived at the Fang, your predestined location to meet this prince. What do you do?
I am going to subtly strap a bunch of knives under my clothes. Yeah. I'm gonna chuck some water on my face and wash out my mouth with some more alcohol to wake me up. And then I'm going to. Can I have a look around the ship and make sure that everything is in order and that there's no sort of issues with that?
Sure. Make me an investigation check, please.
I don't currently have roll. Yes, let's do that.
Use you can use the D&D
Yeah.
Beyond color.
Nice.
Roll that.
16.
16, nice. Okay. With a 16, looking around, you see most is in fact in order. All the cargo that had been piled up to be traded on the deck has already been dismantled, taken down. Usually it's part of your job description to actually oversee the trade itself and make sure everything goes smoothly. But luckily, right, just kind of like stuck on your back like a post-it note, you find a little note and you peel it off and it just says, "Join us in the tavern when you're up."
Yeah.
XOXO, Gossip Girl. Loranda Hayne would be Gossip Girl. Anyway, actually no.
Sorella would be.
Sorella would be Gossip Girl. Easy peasy. I love that. That's so true. Everybody would think it was Loranda. So you have that little post-it note letting you know where to go. And yeah, everything does seem in order. But if you want to go and investigate anywhere else on the ship or find anything,
no, I think I'm not that interested. I think Cass would actually go to the tavern where he's planning to meet, but not necessarily join the party, but like just send Loran a message in his head and just be like, I'm gonna watch from afar. When you've clocked someone, let me know, and then we can make sure that we get him regardless. So
Guys, I'm scared.
Feeling real good about Astra being like, okay, we need to go help that boy. He in trouble.
Okay. So you hop off the ship and start heading in town towards the tavern. And as you do, you see the usual scene that you see at the Fang. Whole host of people from all different backgrounds, all different races, different nationalities, just all piled into this one relatively small port town that's just the way it works is it's just been stacked up on top of each other. So there are like these like buildings that were clearly once just one level that have now got like a mishmash kind of more structure on top. And it all looks like it might cave in at any moment. But it's a charming place. It smells like the sea. Half the people there are drunk. And, you know, it's got some good alcohol. It's got some good people sometimes, most of the time.
Some of the time.
It's somewhere where something always happens. And there's always fun stuff to see. And Astra and Sparks, I don't know if you see it the same way that Cass does, but from your side of view, your point of view is, you know, coming here, do you think for the first time? Yeah, first time?
Maybe not
Definitely
for Astra.
Okay. Astra coming here after being down in Ganrock in Ironstone for a while. It's a bit jarring. Bluey, it's especially jarring. This is a shithole. It's like in what do you call it? In Our Flag Means Death, like the Bay of Pirates. It looks pretty much just like that. But it's got character. There's loads of ships.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Loads
Just
of
writing
ships and
dip-
tons of secrets.
Indeed. So, what are you guys looking for in order to find this boy? This small boy. This man.
I believe we were
Maybe
tracking
we-
his horse.
Tracking his horse. Well,
Yes.
lucky for you. If I remember rightly, your survival rolls are pretty high. So, when you head into the main town centre, you notice a couple of things. First of all, along the line of ships all moored at the docks, there is one specifically that sticks out as more bright and kind of like visually distinct than the rest. A redwood ship with purple sails that are kind of arranged in this oval pattern. There's just a really an aura of interest to it. And coming from the direction of that ship, You see, there's like a ton of crew that's kind of all filtered out to either side, and there is just one individual who's like slightly hungover, staggering towards the tavern. That's you, Cass. Ooh. And right in front of this tavern, you do in fact see a Palomino horse,
Classic.
naturally, with a little ribbon tied in its mane and a tiny little flower tucked into the ribbon. And you think that doesn't belong here. This must be what Ulster is. And you feel like you found your tavern.
Is there a way for Sparks to try and like ascertain from afar Cass's like intent? Like, is it at all murderous?
Cass, would you say that you have murderous intent? Bluey,
I think you're gonna have to roll insight for that. Sorry.
Insight.
Yeah, can we roll insight for sus?
Yeah. Whilst you guys do that very quickly, I'm just gonna pop to the loot and I'll be right back.
Is it
I'm
like
gonna get
far
a
enough?
sheet.
Is it far enough to be a disadvantage? Do you reckon? I'll roll
No.
one. No.
I'm the DM now.
Wait, what did you ask?
Whether it's so far away that neither of us could get insight straight, we'd have to do disadvantage.
No, I think it'd be fine. Go for it.
Okay. About to roll a second die. I'll take it. It was a 19. 19 to detect sus.
13 from me.
13.
Yeah.
I would say that from that you get. Or shall I wait until Emma gets back?
Probably wait. She'll be
Yeah.
In the meantime, look at my baby.
Your baby. Hello, baby.
Big baby. Large and in charge.
The babies?
One
The baby!
baby.
It was really funny earlier. Lala is usually absolutely clinging to the food, as you can see. Right there. Hi. But whilst we were playing, he all of a sudden went like, "Whoa," and just ran out like, "Whoa, whoa," looking for something, and I have no idea what he was listening to. Or
Ghosts.
Ghosts. But I just think it's really interesting.
Georgia, I miss you, my godmother. Where are my cuddles?
Through the screen.
It's amazing.
cutie pie.
Oh. Goodbye.
He's very cute. He's very cute. Sorry, your insight roll, please.
Yes. It was a 19 and a 12. So
A
it was
13.
12? 13, sorry. Oh, God, that changes
No, you're
everything. Sorry, I'm just being a bitch. I think from the 13, you are like, oh, she is hungover and needs to get to the tavern, maybe to cure the hangover. From the 19, you get the same things, which is that she's definitely going to the tavern to cure her hangover. But I would say that you also get that there is, I think outwardly she's clearly trying to look quite nonchalant, but there is purpose to why she's going to the tavern with a 19, I would say. But I wouldn't say there's no murderous intent. It's not like she's going to like fucking
No
kill
murder,
everyone.
just intent.
Just no murder, but like she's clearly got like a goal in mind.
I think Bluey would like confident. Sparks. Her name is still Bluey Sparks, but she is known as Sparks. The last bit. Anyway, Sparks would just say to Astra, sort of confidently, like, "Look, I think it's fine. I think she's just a bit drunk. I don't think we need to keep an eye on her." you want to go to the tavern?
Well, our goal is at the tavern, so yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
Guys, really funny. You know that photo that I thought I sent to you of the conservatory? I sent that to John.
What did you send?
I sent a photo. This
Oh
photo.
my god.
You were
Still drunk.
No, I meant to send it.
What did John say?
He said conservatory looks like a lover's face. It is.
It is. I didn't mean to send it to you, but thanks.
Hang on.
This pause we take for Emma to reply to her Facebook messages.
Now I'm just going to send that to y'all so that you get the vibe. Anywho, so
Oh,
yes,
cute.
you get that. You get this
That's so
energy
cute.
from Cass. She's walking in, and you find that this is certainly the tavern that Ulster is in. So you can proceed as you wish, all of you.
Well, Astra's not going to really make any bones about this. Just going to go straight up to him.
Okay, up to.
Ulster, aka Brian.
Okay, sorry. Right, cool. I'm sorry. I thought you might be doing something a little bit more outside. But if we're going straight in,
Astra came here with a purpose, which was warn the boy, then go back and do other things.
also you see just before all of this happens, also you see Loran push open the door to the Salt and Plank Tavern, and on the inside it is pretty big, pretty dark, and pretty rowdy. It's full of seedy corners for seedy business. There are a bunch of rough-looking and human people sitting in the corner, kind of all leaning in and talking to each other. There are a bunch of the new arrivals, people who've just pulled in for the day, who look haggard and tired in some instances, but are clearly here for a nightcap and then some. And then you see there are a couple of more colourful individuals who, when Loran walks through the door, give him a grin and a nod and raise their drinks in his direction. You get the impression they might be in his group. Now, a glance will tell you that any of these drinks, you'll just pass out from a single swig. But nevertheless, Loran asks you, how do you feel about a drink, my friend?
Juice would be fine for me.
Juice. Look, I'm not sure if they'll serve juice.
Also looks up at the menu. What's the first drink he sees?
Nevin.
He'd know what that is, though.
God damn it. Then it's a tankard of rum. Pretty classic.
I'll have the rum.
You'll have the rum.
Yeah.
If you're asking for it. And Loran takes a coin and heads over to the bar and leaves you very briefly in the middle of the room.
Also immediately folds himself up. No.
No. So you fold yourself up and you watch as Loran kind of artfully places the coin on the bar. People move aside for him. You can tell he's got some renown. The barman just ignores whoever was up there previously and comes straight to him.
That seems a bit rude.
How loudly do you say that?
Quietly.
Quietly.
Mhm.
Nobody bothers you, but as you're sort of standing there, you do overhear whispers and you catch the name Randhane.
Do I hear anything else, or is that it?
Make me a perception check, please.
10.
10.
Not good for him.
No. What's your passive perception again?
Passive perception
Mm.
is in a memento. Passive perception 15.
Okay. You see sort of 2 tables over, you kind of look towards where the name came from. A relatively good-looking individual, objectively, of course, with short kind of brown hair, with 2 other people by their side, and they're looking at Loranda Hain and they're whispering to their companions. And you don't catch a lot of what they say, but you do catch a little bit, which is something along the lines of one of their friends saying, "Weren't you 2 involved?" And the other individual says, "Rejected me. Can you believe it? Him. I thought he was up for anything."
Ulster's like, I should not be hearing this, and kind of angles his body away from the people.
Mm. You find that a couple of seats down there is an empty table.
He's like, right. And starts making his way purposefully over.
Okay. You take a seat. The seats are sticky.
He takes his cloak off and folds it up. It sits on that.
And that is what you 2 walk in on. You see Loran, there by himself, seated at a table, folding up his cloak so that he can sit on one of the chairs. Fleer and Blue and Sparks. Astra and Sparks. I'll get it right. Cass,
All good.
you
It's
are
still their name.
Cass, you are about 30 seconds behind them. And now all of you are in the tavern together. Cass, you see Loran by the bar. Astra and Sparks, you see Ulster sitting by himself. What would you guys like to do?
Because his cloak is now off, you can confirm he is the person in the drawing.
Yeah.
Astra just, like, marches right up to him.
He just looked like,
Hi, just wanted to give you fair warning. The bandits made off with your picture. I didn't want you to just... We were sitting on the cart together, but just thought it would be fair to let you know that you might be compromised.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did Astra get a look at the name on the paper?
What's your passive investigation?
Investigation is 13, perception is 14. But I did roll to see it with a pretty good...
I think you would have first name. Which, with your level of knowledge of the world, it's an unusual name for this area. And it sounds like northern, like it comes from the northern regions.
Astra is going to just use thaumaturgy to whisper directly into his ear. All right, I'll stare.
Mm-hmm.
And then turns to leave.
If you say that to him, he wasn't making eye contact with you before. Oh god, the men are eating. It's horrifying. Look at them go. Look at them go.
They just won't stop. Oh my god.
Happy boys.
Anyway. If you say that to Ulster, and no, I think you would. He will immediately. Are you wearing a cloak?
Yeah. Astra has been just cloaked up this full time. Even like just hands in the pockets, so you can't really see what's going on.
He will grab the back of your cloak And can I make a strength check to throw Astra down on the table?
Can I have, that'll be a grapple.
Yeah.
So you're going to be doing a strength check versus Astra's either athletics or acrobatics, depending.
Gonna go acrobatics because I mean that's me.
Can
Minus 1 is 17.
17.
Can I aid Astra in some way?
You can help give her advantage.
Yeah, give her advantage.
Okay.
Like, oh,
So I rolled a 19, 18 on the die.
Nice. You guys rolled the same thing, if only sadly you've got slightly different bonuses.
He's very, very emaciated.
So I'm just going to really quickly interrupt this to go to Cass's view of things. Cass, you walk in, you see Ulster sitting by himself. You don't really know who he is, though. See Loran at the bar. And the moment you walk in, he like perks, his ears perk up and he looks back at you. And you hear a message in your mind just say, he's sitting at the table by himself.
Cass will reply and be like, "You don't know me," but like the tone is like wink, wink.
And then you hear one more message saying, if anything goes awry, try intervene and I'll treat you like a stranger.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Try to intervene.
Yeah.
And I'll treat you
Okay.
like a stranger.
Okay.
And he turns back to the bar. At which point you see Ulster, who you don't know the name of necessarily at the moment, stand up, grab a cloaked individual, try and throw them down on the table.
But he is 6 inches shorter.
6 inches shorter. The cloak, with the help of a dragonborn, slips out from beneath his hands, and he like slams both hands on the table instead, and looks up at them. Look, I'm not saying that Loran invited chaos by messaging you, but you get the impression there is an incident brewing that might need intervention.
Cass is going to saunter over very like she's very familiar with this tavern. Everyone's in it. She's had many a fight.
Many people wait for you and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
As she does, she's like, hey. And she saunters over to the table where you guys are all having your sort of tussle. And she's going to sort of like shake her head, roll up her sleeves and be like, oh, are we starting a tavern brawl already? This early? Oh, this is my day.
Ulster has cast Primal Savagery on himself. So his teeth are very sharp and his fingernails are like dug into the wood.
I didn't mean
He
to
looks
like
like he's ready to fight.
Cass is going to look at him and go, meow.
He steps back and comes out of the table.
And you bump into Loran's chest. It's standing right behind you, holding 2 drinks, and looks down at you, looks down at your nails and says, I can do that. Anything the matter?
Astra's
Sarah
just
is
got
very tired.
like her hands like held up, like I didn't mean anything by it. I just thought you should be forewarned for what might come. We have business elsewhere.
He looks at
Forewarned?
you.
Sorry, what was the question?
I think Cass is gonna like be like forewarned. Is there gonna be more trouble? Do tell.
There were bandits on the road. They have his photo. Not photo, they have his like they have his likeness.
Photo.
Likeness, yeah.
They have his
Nice.
likeness.
I think
Cass-
Loran is going to make eye contact with you very briefly, Cass.
I think the two of them are like quickly look and then look away like la, la.
Can I roll insight on that?
What?
The exchange
Yeah,
between
cool.
Cass and Loran.
Sure. Also says, so what?
Yep.
Loran leans over you, takes your hand, takes the tankard of rum and folds it into your grip. And he
Also-
says, what did you roll?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. These people aren't strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it seem like they mean Ulster harm?
Actually, I think when Cass's, she's a little bit, I would say there was a bit of concern when she knows that bandits have his likeness. Whether that's because she wants to kill him or whether it's because she wants to steal him, or you don't know, but I would say that there was concern about that.
Loran let out a bit of a sigh at that, if that helps you. He's like, oh, already. Loran passes you your drink and leans in and says, so, if anyone knows anything, it serves us to listen. Wouldn't you agree?
They hadn't found me before this person.
Well, you hadn't met me when they found you. And now you've met me.
He turns back around.
Hello.
No, to look away from Loran.
Goodbye.
And that is now, you're now looking at Cass and she's like got an eyebrow raised, like, hello.
Hello.
Who is this? You guys speak in the same way.
I think you'll find that most people here speak like this.
Sailors.
They don't. Points at Astra.
They are not sailors.
I'm sorry.
But how about this? Thank you for your concern over my short friend. Would you like a round on me?
Yes. Cass says immediately.
Loran rolls his eyes. Don't be too eager.
I think to Astra, Sparks would say, do we have the time? Don't we need to get back?
Where are you headed? I promise I can get you there twice as fast if you give me the time of day. For a very small fee.
Cass coughs.
Well, are you buying the drinks as well?
I suppose I'll empty my pockets for you strangers. I'm very generous.
Can I do a perception to see how expensive Loran looks in terms of his clothes and accessories?
Yeah.
Natural 20.
He looks expensive. But not gaudy expensive. Like
actual rich
he
expensive.
has real money expensive.
Emma,
Yes.
whilst after with the bandit thing, Cass is gonna sort of surreptitiously look around the tavern. Now, I'm gonna see if I can request advantage. This is like basically her second home, and she knows the people in here. Is there anyone in here that is like, she's basically looking, is there anyone that's out of place, looking like they're very interested in Brian? That sort of vibe.
Yes, there is.
Do you want me to, is that perception or
Perception, please.
investigation? Perception.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a
I would
look.
like you to do a perception check, please.
All right. With advantage.
Mhm.
Didn't matter, they were both the same. So 14.
14. Yes. There are people who are interested in your exchange, first of all. It's not uncommon for brawls to start over smaller things than this, than someone, actually throwing someone down, or attempting to. However, beyond that, there are two groups of individuals who you feel a bit anxious of. First are those people who you saw in the corner, the humans, who were looking a bit rough. And then there is it's only one individual. They look about as out of place as you all are. They are short, with a thick round of curly hair. And the reason they look out of place is because they're going up to every patron they can find and asking rather loudly, "Pardon me, excuse me, excuse me. I'm just wondering if there was any way I could get to Ironstone. Do you know? Very loudly asking after transport down south.
All right, Cass is like, that dude is clearly not a bandit. She's suspicious of the humans.
In like 5 days.
Yeah, so I think she's gonna basically be like, she's gonna take the drink out of the rum out of Brian's hand, say to Loran, like, thank you for this, and she's gonna just disappear off. She's gonna go sit close to the human table.
Okay. Loran says, snooze you lose. Sit down.
You're not very nice. And he sits.
And he leans in, am lovely. I'm nicer than half the people you're going to meet in this city. And nicer than a quarter of the people you'll meet in this whole country. Excuse me.
I'd like to leave as soon as possible.
We will. Sparks.
I would like to, before sitting down and accepting Loran's offer, do a divine sense, which is for 6 seconds. I know 60 feet around me, anyone who's not behind total cover, who is a celestial, fiend, undead, or anything affected by the hallow spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
feet.
Sure. That's really interesting. So you kind of send your feelers out. You're looking for celestial, fiend, or undead. One of those three.
Yeah.
You do sense 3 or 4 times in this room pings of undead.
That's not good.
And I know the location. Are they like close, far?
They appear to be in the 4 corners of the tavern.
Ah.
Ah.
Okay, Sparks will sit down, but every few seconds or so, I think she'll look to each corner and just sort of like be like, what? What could that be? Yeah, but that can be going on during if you.
Mhm. It's interesting because when you look in the corners, all the patrons themselves seem lively and like animated. The only other things you see are the big, barrels that they store wine in. A couple of tables that have been pulled up on the sides.
There's someone in the barrels. Sorry.
But that's it at the moment. Anyway, you lean in and Loran is looking at the two of you.
Ulster looks furious.
And he very, very kindly says, after taking a long sip of his own drink, passes it to you and says, we can share if you like. Not with you two, though. And he points to you. I'm already doing you a favour.
But he passes the drink to Ulster.
Yeah.
Can I sniff it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It smells like apricot.
He will decide that it is rude if he does not try it and takes a sip.
It sparkles on your tongue. It's like,
He sneezes very loudly.
right. I take it that you 3 have met before. Otherwise, why on earth would 2 strangers be interested in you? And he points to you, Ulster. Hello, my name is Miranda Hain, and I am a sailor around these parts.
Can I roll like an int check to see if I've heard of Loran before?
Sure. Hello, Georgia.
That's a 12.
12. The name rings a bell. Though you don't necessarily know his likeness, so you're probably going to have to take this guy on his word if he is the actual brand.
I've heard of you
There are many.
before.
There are many. You've heard of me. Not uncommon. And you?
Yes, sir. I'm Sparks. Full name Bluey Sparks, but Sparks just that does good. Yeah, that is good by itself. I'm sorry. I've just noticed something in the corners.
Loran
Maybe in
squints and then says, "Excuse me."
in Elvish, Sparks would say barrels, and then like Dwarvish, like dead, and then Draconic undead. Just
That only hears barrels and is like, what?
What? Loran also only hears barrels.
Astra gets all
Oh,
three.
sorry, there's going to be a bit of noise. Did Anna say that you said something in Draconic?
And in Dwarvish.
dead.
So Cass would definitely hear. She speaks Dwarvish and Draconic.
So
You
heard
hear dead,
and
undead.
Undead. Okay. Cass will immediately message Loran and be like, "Undead."
Is that usual here?
Are you like an ill omen?
Allstar looks himself up and down. Not that I'm aware.
You cursed?
I don't think so.
Are you baned?
No.
Unhallowed in some way?
Are you insulting me in different words?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
hang
think
on.
Sparks was just saying that there might be undead in the barrels.
God. Right. First,
Also,
before we go any further,
sorry, Astra.
Yes.
I didn't introduce myself.
Astra. Astra, Sparks, and what should I call you? In company.
Brian.
Brian. Just hold still for a moment, and Loran traces the symbol on the table in front of you. You see a slight glow, and you all feel just a slight, like a warmth kind of seep through you. And Loran looks at each of you and he just says, "Good news, none of you are dead." Wonderful. Though I'm sure, looking at Sparks, you could have told me that.
Just points to like the crying eye, like, well, if she does,
None of us
She
are in
does
barrels
survive.
either. It seemed a bit superfluous.
Well, if I'm going to continue to associate with people, I much prefer the company of the living. In fact,
that's very yeah.
The dead are usually quieter though.
they also smell.
Also just sniffs himself and like, is that another insult?
I'm sure you could play dead very well.
Well, actually, it's funny you say that.
Also takes Loran's apricot drink, dips a napkin in it, and starts tapping. Like,
I have perfume. I don't. Okay, it's already happened. Cass, whilst this exchange is going on, you take a tankard of drink over to the corner of the room. You go towards those humans. You said.
Yeah. I would like to do a further sort of investigation on them, but I also now want to sort of have a look to see if I can see what's going on in the corners of the room. Are they in the corner?
Yes, they're in one of the corners.
Okay, in that case, she's just going to go like sort of. Could I have another? Sorry. Yeah, she's going to investigate them. I think she's not going to like completely join them because that's probably not going to go well.
Yeah. You head over and you kind of like naturally, I think, with your charisma, fall into a conversation with people on the labouring table who you vaguely recognise
Sorry,
as
hang on.
regulars around here.
I don't know where that is. Sorry. Sorry. God, I almost dropped my laptop. Okay. Yeah, so I naturally start chatting with the people near them.
Just so you can keep an ear open for their table. And when you kind of lean in, you hear a snippet of their conversation, and you just hear in hushed tones, I don't know if you heard, but Garrett says there's some high-flying individual coming up this way. Worth a lot. To the right buyer. And a woman says, I heard from an anonymous source he was traveling to meet a specific individual seated over there, Miranda Hain. And they all
Okay. Hearing that, I think Cass is going to message to Loran saying, bandits found, will engage, either flirt or fight, to try and distract them. And so that they look basically with the idea that Loran can get Brian and leave.
And that's how
she's
Cass
distracting.
ended up in a polyamorous relationship with bandits.
At which point you hear as you're looking over at Loran, an uppity voice say, excuse me, I'm so sorry to interrupt your gathering. I'm just wondering if I could inquire about how I could make passage down to Ironstone. As a curly-haired individual approaches the bandits and asks this question. The bandits look him up and down. You can quickly assess that they are looking to see how wealthy he is.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman bandit says, I can help you arrange that. Could you take a seat and see what we can do?
At this point, Cass is going to sort of put on a little bit of a stagger as if she's a bit inebriated, which technically she is, but she's always inebriated, so that's the norm. And she's going to sort of act like she's a little bit drunk, and she's going to go over and she's going to look at the woman bandit and the sort of nastiest looking male bandit, and she's going to be like, now you two are the lookers of this group. I could see us getting on very, very well.
Roll me a charisma check, please.
That's so funny.
Let me hang on. Charisma. Where's my charisma?
Wounded wherever you are.
It's an 18.
18. Okay, so the woman bandit looks a bit confused. She's like, and the male bandit leans forward and goes, wow.
And around the corner also throws up in his mouth a bit. It's like,
Cass is gonna like sort of sidle over, and she's gonna sort of like run her fingers up his arm. Disgusting. And then she's gonna sort of like sit like, is there a spare seat?
There was. The curly-haired individual was about to sit in it. And they look at you like,
she's gonna take it, and she's gonna be like, oh, sorry, I have business.
We're doing business here, you understand?
can we hear this?
Yes.
Can I roll, or would my passive perception pick up any accent in this person's voice?
What does your accent sound like?
Huh?
Turn off your mic.
It sounds like, g'day.
Excuse me, I have to make a correction. We are doing business here. Excuse me.
Cass is gonna like look him up and down and give him like the filthiest look she's ever seen. Like, yeah, this is just, I'm sorry, but these guys, I mean, look at them. I had to come over and speak to them, and don't be a cockblock and just fuck off.
Oh, great heavens. How on earth can you say that to me?
Can I hear this?
Yes.
Ulster looks up at this point. even if anyone else is speaking at the table, and just cranes over to see who is speaking in a Messian region accent.
You see a curly-haired individual with a big fluffy cape and a big fluffy cravat.
Also, just like, oh shit.
I see you know that one.
He looks like, oh my god, this is going to be a really niche reference. But in the Grand Budapest Hotel, Mendel's cakes, he looks like a Mendel's cake, but dirty. So, like a big fluffy pastry macaron. And Cassie folds his arms and he says, I am not trying to interrupt your courtship, because he can't say cockblock. But I know I got here first.
Why is he German?
I'm sorry.
That's the true accent of the Messiah. It just switches known accent.
Different European, yeah.
It's somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there.
Okay, Cass is going to message Duran again and just be like, get the prince out and I'll follow.
It's here?
No, she messaged that to Loran.
Oh, it's Ran. Sorry, I thought you said Cam. Sorry, I was like, that's so bold.
I've lost his mind.
Yeah, no, she. Oh, thanks, thank you. No, she messaged that to Loran, and then she'll be like, I can bring this idiot.
Ran nods and gets up and just says, well, the mystery of the undead in the barrels will have to wait for another day. It seems that we're off. You two, if you want that ride. He looks at you, Ulster, when he says that.
Ulster drops the apricot drink. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, was that an accident?
Astra just prestidigitations it like clean off the table. The table is probably cleaner than it was before.
Word of advice, Astra, they pay people for that. Just so you know.
She took away someone's job.
Oops.
As a capitalist, that's something I cannot stand for. He smiles at you.
Okay, Ulster's up.
About that passage.
If you want that ride, you better follow me. I've got enough space for all of us. Come along.
2, 3. Ulster starts counting.
I can take
This
a
is very gracious.
We
How
said
does
for a
that work?
small fee. How much is this going to cost us exactly?
I already bought you a drink, but that's a favour. I'll just accept a kind turn for that. But yes, to take you, where do you want to go?
I mean, I'm sure we can walk it our own way. No charge.
Kay, what are you doing, baby?
No, I'll take you. Temple of Bahamut. It'd be an hour less. I can tell from the state of you that you already walked here.
Yeah.
I'll do it for 2 gold. 1 each. Very generous.
All right, I don't know about you, Sparks, but I'll walk. It's not a problem.
I have
2 gold.
I have no money currently. I'm sorry
Astra
to
is
say.
aware of that, which is why.
I'd be very happy to provide some other service. I am, in fact, very strong.
Very happy to provide some other services, you say. Okay. You are very strong.
And I'm something of a healer.
Hmm.
He looks at Ulster.
What?
Well, it would be. I would have to draw up a contract of employment if you don't mind. But I am one of the biggest employers in the area.
Oh,
Let's walk and talk. And he beckons you towards the door, looking a little anxious to go.
I'm learning so much about this place.
Mhm.
Wolster looks towards the Messian person and just quietly tugs on the Rand sleeve. Are they going to be okay?
He looks at you and he says, Ulster, how many strays do you want me to pick up for you?
It's not that I want you to pick him up. It's that if something happens to him and I didn't do anything, then
It's not your responsibility.
it kind
You
of
don't
is.
even know him.
Kind of is.
The duty of royals. I'm not running a daycare. You get one more. And reluctantly, he, after leading you all to the door, walks over to Cass. Confidently. Picks up someone's drink along the way. And Cass, you hear in your mind, play along.
And Cass responds always.
Takes the drink, goes up to you, sloshes it in your face. You bitch!
Cass immediately stands up and is like, how dare you? Look at this
I thought
face.
we had something.
I thought they didn't know each other.
But look at this man and look at this woman, as if I would not try this.
Fine. I see how it is.
You can only offer so much.
If you can get with them, then I suppose I'm allowed to get with other people as well. Naturally. And he immediately
Well, I
puts his
guess.
arm around Kev.
Cass is going to look at the male bandit and she's going to you're going to let him speak to me like this?
He stands up, and like that, his like belly kind of like knocks the table because he's so big. And he's like, "Oh, I can't let you get away with this." Meanwhile, Kev is like, "Oh, I'm not interested. I'm not interested." And Loran just says in his ear, and Cass, you hear this. These people are looking to murder you, strip you down, and take your things. Just so you know, I have a friend over there who's worried about your well-being. If you wish, you can come with me for no fee at the moment, and you'll live. Or you can stay and die. Fuck you. In Elvish.
Okay, well, Cass doesn't understand that, but she'll understand the gist. Cass is then going to like stand up herself and she's going to put herself between the two, and then she's going to be like, just fuck off and leave me to
Fuck.
him.
All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Wolster is like purple in the corner. He's like,
I knew you were a whore.
Astra's just watching
Yeah,
this,
of
kind of
course.
amused.
Cass is going to turn. Cass will turn back to the bandits and be like, "Oh, sorry about that, exes. What are you going to do?"
Now, I need to do a performance check with advantage, Cass. See
Okay.
just how we carry all of this off.
Let's see. Where's my performance? Oh, so sad. Where's my plus 18 gone? Okay.
just the way?
fear about perception.
What's there instead?
19.
Okay. The big man is like, I can't believe he did that to you. I really can't. I would never treat you that way.
Cass is gonna like touch his upper and be like, I know. I could see that from a mile away. God.
What's your name?
Susan. But you can call me Sue.
They call me
Big Ed.
Cash.
No! Big Ed is
They
funnier.
call me Big Ed.
I'm going to call you Big.
Friends. And then guess what? When we're real good friends, you can call me
Daddy Ed.
Daddy-O.
Okay,
And
I'm not actually going to say that because I can't.
Friends, you can call me Sex Ed.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. Reset.
Okay. Yeah.
Big Ed.
Has Loran and everyone left yet? Are they
Yes.
at the top?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, guess what? You've successfully evaded the first encounter that you guys failed to evade in season 1.
Yay!
Okay, Cass is gonna be like, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get some drinks for all of you because you used to buy me even when that arsehole didn't. So give me 1 minute. She is gonna go to the bar.
As you suggest that, the woman says, let me help you carry those.
Oh,
Can't let you be
thank
having all the
you.
fun.
No, that's great. And she's gonna go to the bar. I'm assuming that Cass's crew is a lot of the crew is still in the tavern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
She will. She's not even gonna look at them. She's gonna go order some drinks. But she's gonna message, I don't know, Dave, who she's good friends with, and she's gonna be like, Dave, when I start walking past with these drinks, you need to start a brawl.
Understood. You and Dave, you got like that psychic connection, you know?
Dave knows.
Dave knows, right. As you head up there, though, the woman follows with you, and she says, I have to admit, I misjudged you.
People often do.
Hmm.
But she's going to sidle close to the woman and be like, but I got your measure. And be very flirty.
What does this woman look like?
She has kind of like emerald green skin. She's a tiefling. Her horns kind of curl back over her head, and she has short black hair that just kind of curls around her shoulders. A little bit messy, but like kind of intentionally. She's wearing all black, and she leans in and just says, "Their name's Edge."
I thought so. Cat Georgia did.
And she just says, and trust me, I got your measure too. Don't worry about those drinks. Besides, if you get too drunk, you won't be able to follow your friends, will you?
Friends?
Well, I suppose you could also call them enemies. You're fast to make them. I got the feeling you lot knew each other.
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
You will. No.
Okay, this wasn't exactly how I saw this courtship going. You're being very weird. I just wanted to hook up. I don't know why you bring this energy into it. It's a bit unnecessary.
Goodbye. Then she turns around and leaves. Just as all of these drinks are put in front of you.
No.
Cass quickly downs at least 2.5. Starts walking back to Sex Ed.
Ah! And Dave just yells and like turns the table over. And in like 5 seconds, the whole place is ablaze with fighting. And Edge whips her head around and looks at you, and you guys kind of get eye contact across the room. Make me a stealth check, please, with advantage.
And I have upped my dexterity this time round because I felt like life on a boat, she would be more dexterous. So,
Very good.
oh, that is a pretty good stealth roll, but let me try another one. Hang on. No. 21, but before she disappears, she's going to wink at Edge.
Classic. You vanish behind the group, brawlers, and head out the door.
Yeah, I think I've broken Ed's heart.
Yeah, that's going to follow us throughout the campaign, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Outside, Ulster, Moran has steered Kev right up to you and deposited him in front of you. And then he leans over to Kev and just says, "I'm really sorry, not my type. But maybe you're his." And taps him on the shoulder and just like turns him to face you. And the moment he looks at you, he's like, "Your Highness."
He wouldn't have an accent because I'm guessing they're speaking in Messian.
"Your Highness." "Oh my goodness, I've been looking for you so long. How are you? You look rough."
Also kind of looks around and is like, nice to, what are you doing here?
I came here to set up your apartment and then you never arrived, and I thought that maybe something had happened. I wasn't sure, so... Well...
And what do I call you?
What, you can call me Kev.
Kev.
You forgot my name?
No, Kev, yes. Kev. And surname was, can I make an intelligence check?
Yeah.
19 plus.
Amber.
No, 19 plus 3, 22. Ambrose.
He looks relieved and he says, "I know I don't look quite how I looked when you first met me, but I'm glad you still recognise my family name at least. That gives me some pride."
Also quietly thanks the little crest that Kev is wearing.
You can tell when you look at it that it's actually just carved out of a little bit of bark, because obviously the real one was probably stolen.
Right. We need to go.
Right.
Come. And he starts steering him away.
Okay. Who are these people?
I'll explain on the way.
Okay. Right. And Kev, the moment you take his hand, he's like, "Oh," and kind of like hops along beside you. Excuse me, not hobbles. And Cass kind of like throws the door open, and as she opens the door, like the tankards come flying over her head, a chair soars through the sky, you like duck. And Loran looks impressed and says, "Sorry for the subtle subterfuge.
Do all your subterfuges end like that?
No.
Most of mine do.
Oh.
I think we've met before." He looks at you, Cass. "I'm sure you know who I am."
I'm going to insight check these two at this point. Plus 5, 13.
Okay. They are acquaintances, surely. They have to at least know each other by name.
You know each other.
Pardon?
Yes. Most people around here do.
You have to know someone pretty well to call them names.
Well, we did that for your sake. I feel like once you build up a solid clientele, you can trust them to do for you what you would also do for them. And I would naturally beat the
I'm
shit
not gonna
out of them.
interrupt this, but like maybe we should move before the brawl.
I'm imagining we're walking, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay, we're walking. In that case, Cass hasn't said anything. I thought we were just still stationary. I was like, this is not a good idea.
Yeah, if
And
Cass
how do
wasn't going to get us moving, Astra was.
Yeah. And how do you plan to get us out of here?
Oh, well, it's pretty simple, actually. And he clicks his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait a moment. It's actually very cool.
Are you a magic user?
I am, yes. How did you know?
Because you carved a symbol into the table and it glowed gold, and then you said that it told you that we weren't dead.
Observant. He laughs. I'm kidding. It's obvious, I know. Where is that thing? Cass, when you got off the ship, did you untie the carpet?
So, no.
Also starts dragging Kev towards Loran's ship.
At which point you hear, Oi! They're over there! And,
Time to move. Time to
turn
move.
around and you see Edge with two other bandits. Big Ed is not there, amazingly.
He's crying. He's too broken.
My man. Cass is going to say to Loran, the tiefling, we need to watch her, but from afar, because we need to move.
If we don't move now, we'll be watching her from up close. At which point, Loran draws his hand back across his forearm like an arrow and just releases, and you see a bolt of fire just kind of like line the pathway behind them, cutting through the street. And Loran turns and says, and now we go.
At that,
Okay.
Auster will stop and stumble when he sees that magic.
Come along, and Loran grabs your arm, like folding your arms together, and pulls you along with him.
You have to half drag him.
Now, everybody, we're entering a chase.
Can we have a small tea break?
We will enter a chase after our small tea break.
Small tea break.
So we come back in about
10 minutes?
10 minutes, yeah. So come back around 10:35. We'll have some tea, and then we will have a chase and try and escape from some bandits.
Chase.
Thank you.
Let me just really quick put on some chase music. Excuse me for a moment.
I have to say, I miss Cass's like dimension door, that sort of stuff. Like, I'm now like, what spells do I have? And it's like one spell, and you're like, it's so for you.
You get nothing.
Is she a level 1 warlock?
No, she's a level 1 sorcerer.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the first
excited,
session, we had
yeah.
a moment where we all went through what everyone the changes everybody had made. But yes, Cass is
yeah.
now a sorcerer.
She's now a sorcerer.
Very exciting.
But I feel like she still she wasn't like born a sorcerer. It was still some sort of like weird hijinks, book related vibe. I don't know. That like it wasn't, yeah, she doesn't come from a line of sorcerers.
But what kind of sorcerer?
She's draconic. She's from
Ooh. Love it.
I do really want to play a wild magic sorcerer.
You know, that's a fun one, knowing where you end up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I really want to play a wild magic sorcerer, but I felt like for Cass, like the draconic bloodline I just think it kind of made sense because I feel like she would like, yeah, it gives her like the natural armor. She would love a breath weapon. And at the end of the day, she got wings at the end of our campaign, and she's going to get wings at the end of this one, even if we don't, I know we're not seeing it through to level 20, where she would get wings, but she would end up with wings as well. And it just narratively felt right for me. So yeah, she's that's why she can speak draconic.
Don't worry about it right now. Okay, so chases. Now we know how chases usually work in D&D, but I have been doing some reading, and I think I agree with the online consensus, which is that chases as they exist in D&D are a little bit boring. Cool. Basically, what we're going to do is I just need to check all of you guys have a walking speed. And I want you to use that based on what I tell you to determine a chase modifier. Okay. So who has anything other than a 30 walking speed? All right, Cass, what do you have?
25. She's dwarf.
Okay.
She's short.
So sorry, you're the only one who's going to have a. You're going to have a -4 to your chase modifier. Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm sorry, it's small. Because it's small.
Okay.
I'm going to say that Kev probably does too, because he's an aristocrat and isn't used to movement. So it's you and Kev at the back there. Now, does anyone have over 30? Okay,
Maybe
no
the
worries. So, at the beginning of the chase, I'm going to, which is starting now, I, the DM, will determine what kind of chase it is. If you're in open terrain, like a field or anything like that, then it's going to be strength-based or athletics-based. If you're in a terrain that requires movement and winding around, it's going to be acrobatics-based or dexterity-based.
Right.
So
Either way, Cass is good.
because you're moving through a town with lots of like obstacles, cargo, the docks, everything, we're going to make this a dexterity-based, a dexterity-based chase. Now, at the beginning of the chase, I'm going to determine how many gaps, how many spaces you need to gain on your opponents in order to make stealth checks. And as you get to the adequate amount of spaces, you can then make a stealth check, which will allow you to try and exit the chase and hide from your pursuers. Now, it's one thing I just need to check. Establish appropriate skill, done that. Establish creatures chase on fire, done that. Okay. So the way that you close a is by, for example, if I'm the pursuer, I want to close the gap. Is by getting a higher total than your guys' roll. Okay.
Okay.
Any pursuer, so me, that ends a turn with 0 gaps between you and the chasers, so the quarry, can use that action to attack, to grapple, to do whatever they need to do to secure their quarry. Okay. So your goal is to increase and or maintain the gap between you until you reach a certain point, which you can take stealth actions to hide your quarry. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So let me just see what was suggested. Okay, so I'm going to start the chase with 4 gaps between you, and everyone's going to roll initiative because we are still going to use the complications for fun.
Okay. Initiative.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
13.
12.
Let me write these down and I'll call out for you. Okay. Georgia, the last thing I Googled on my notes app was your address. So.
Oh yeah, Georgia, you're in my address book now.
Yeah.
Ah.
Started keeping an actual address book so I can stop asking people for their addresses.
Right.
I will say, Ulster will try and stay with Kev. He feels the duty to protect Kev.
Okay, so you can take a voluntary -4.
-4?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so 25 to 20. What did you get?
Sorry, -4 to initiative.
Chasing. It's a chase roll.
21.
Ooh.
This is a homebrewish thing, so it's your chase modifier. You can just write that above your movement if you want to. Okay, cool. 20 to 15. Cass.
15.
Okay. 15 to 10.
13.
12.
Okay, then we got Kev. And then we have gosh, they're rolling like shit. Good for you. Good for you.
Good for you. Badger. Pooper.
Okay, that's a bit better.
He's looking a bit sorry for himself.
Yeah.
Bath.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's looking to me. Hello.
Right. So we are starting out this chase with 4 gaps between you, which means in order to get to the point where you can hide from your quarry, you need to succeed 4 times, or draw 4 times to maintain the gap.
Okay.
Okay. So after 4 successes, you can hide. Now, this is the first time I've ever done this rule for a chase. So if this goes weird at any point or it's going on for too long, I might just say you guys can do a hide, or you could take an action to do something decisive to help you get out of the chase. Let's try it and see how it goes. We're doing this for fun. So, huzzah. Right. Making sure I've got everybody in the order. Sparks, Loran, Cass, Ulster, Kev, and then Secrets.
Astra?
Astra is also after Ulster. Okay. Wonderful. Right. So, first in the order is Sparks. Sparks, I need you to roll a d20, first of all, to check your location. And then you're going to roll.
And then I'm going to roll what? Sorry?
You're going to roll a chase check. And that is something that we're homebrewing. So you're going to add, if your speed is 30, you don't have to add anything. You're just going to add your dexterity modifier to that.
Okay.
You're
Am I
doing
rolling
2
two things? Right.
So your first roll is second roll is to determine how far you get, essentially.
Do I add the same modifier to both?
No, the first one is just a straight up d20 roll.
First one is 9.
Sorry.
Okay. Right. I need to roll initiative again.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Who can they mistake you for? Right, and then the second one?
18.
18. Okay. So I think the way that we'll do it is that for every round, we'll tally up your scores. And then at the foot of the round, when the bandits have all rolled, you'll be able to see how far you get. But the first thing is, on a 9, as you're kind of rushing through the city is a town, the town streets towards the docks, an overzealous guard who's been standing outside, watching the cargo, making sure that everything has been going not amiss, let's say, jumps up and says, "Oi! You! I know you! You're the Blue Belly Bandit!" And starts rushing for you. They discover someone else. If you move 20 feet or more on your turn, the guard is going to make an opportunity attack against you with a spear, +3 to hit. I think...
Am I allowed to say I've equipped my shield?
You can. It's going to give you... or not. Are you wearing your armor?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, then yes, yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. So you're going to what's it? Equip your shield. And I want to know what your armor class is, please.
Right now it's 18.
Okay, that is not going to hit. They rush up to you and they whack over the top of your head with a spear, but you duck and you're like, ugh! And keep on
Blue
running.
belly. What? Sorry.
Blue belly
can't
bandit!
stop.
Blue belly bandit.
Why am I the bandit? Bandit stole from me.
Next up in the order is Loran. So pretty good.
You ran.
Loran.
Run away.
Loran away. Cool.
Oh.
And oh, for God's sake.
Did he not run away?
Okay, so Loran kind of like yells at you all around the corner, come on now. And you kind of all follow him around this corner, around the cargo. And just as you do, you see an old beggar man. Please, could I have a coin? And Loran is like, and just like jumps over him. And it's like, no, charity here, thank you.
Only capitalism.
Only capitalism. So he avoids that obstacle.
Don't worry, guys. I'm upgrading to imperialism.
Naturally. Next up in the order, we have the second bandit. So, 18. Okay. Right. So, the bandit rushes forwards, and you see that they're starting to gain on you a little bit. And just as they do, oh my god, you guys are really unlucky with these rolls. Just as they do, they sort of stumble and slip and sort of fall flat on their faces. They skid in a unpleasant-looking pile of vomit beside a drunken sailor.
It's like Kitas.
Just like Kitas, yes, exactly. His spirit beyond the veil has spoken to us. Yep, you are. I'm gonna say that counts as what's it? I'm gonna say that counts as you guys gaining a gap because one of them has stopped. So you have 1 on your side. You need to get 4. Okay. Right, Cass. Can you roll me 2d20s? To one of them, add your modifier. Oh no, take off your chase modifier, please.
Okay. And then, so do I add?
So it's -4 plus your dex.
To both or just to one?
No,
so
no.
I'm rolling 2d20.
You're rolling 2d20. One is a flat roll. The second one is your chase check. So you're going to -4 from that, and then you're going to add your dex at the end.
Okie dokies. So, 1 is, so, wait, right. 15 -4 is 11 plus 3, so 14. And then the other one was a 15.
Okay.
So 14 and 15.
You have no complications. You know this place like the back of your hand. You vault over the beggar. You skip over the vomit. And you hurry up alongside Loran and alongside Bluey, who have already made a little bit of headway. And with 15, you guys are looking to be gaining pretty easily on the bandits. However, Cass, stumbling around the corner, tears in his eyes.
Oh no.
Before we had something special. Before we had something. As Big Ed comes barreling forwards. He is big. He is massive. He's so big, in fact, that you get the impression he might have a +4 to his chase modifier. So, that's still not amazing, though.
Would his weight not drag him down?
It's still not amazing, though. His dex isn't great. Okay. And then, would you believe it? Another overzealous guard, or maybe it's the same one, looks up and says, "No, that ain't the Blue Belly Bandit. He's the Blue Belly Bandit.
Oh gosh.
Boys, I got him." And he starts rushing forward and like,
Let me guess, neither of them are the blue belly bandit.
neither of them are the blue belly bandit. And he tries to whack him with that spear, but it's really not his day because he misses again. And not blue belly bandit Big Ed just goes and keeps running. And he's like, oh!
Just so I know, is Big Ed in front of me, behind me? Is he running towards
They're all
me?
behind you. You guys are ahead.
Okay.
You're about 40 feet ahead of them. Put it that way.
I think Cass is going to turn around and chuck over her shoulder like, so did I!
Ulster, I need you to make me 2 rolls.
Ulster's just like, oh my gosh, everyone's so incompetent.
So you're going to do the same as Cass if you're minusing 4.
Okay, from the fast roll.
Yeah, and then adding your dex.
Okay, so 17 minus 4 is 13.
13.
Yeah, 13 plus 2 is 15.
15, okay.
And then what's the other one?
Flat d20, please.
19.
19, okay. With a 19, you don't have any complications, but you're hanging back.
He's like, hurry up, Kev.
You're short of breath, and you can feel your lungs kind of tightening as you kind of like have to keep up this burst of energy. And Kev's like clutching his cloak, like, oh, I've never been chased by bandits before.
Why are you wearing high heels?
Because they were what I was wearing when I left. You can look at them and you see that they are like pretty worn down, pretty gross now.
One of them looks like it's been glued back on.
Yes, exactly. They've been resold. Astra, may you please do the same for me?
Right. Okay, so I have for the first roll is a it's the chase roll, which is your d20 plus dex.
Yes, please.
That
minus,
is
minus
No, only if you're taking them. So you're trying to be on Kev's
okay.
level, so you're taking minus. Yes.
so that's a dirty 20.
Okay, pretty
Just
good.
imagine
pretty
you
good.
can see me dabbing.
Oh.
And then the flat d20 is a 16.
16. Okay, you also have no complications, so you just keep determinedly running forwards. You're looking towards the ship. You're like, oh god. But you have a feeling that you're going to be okay, or are you? The rolls will determine this. Kev. Natural one.
Bloody hell.
Kev just is like, and just like that,
The heel snaps
his
off.
heel snaps, and his shoe falling forward. Like, oh, great heavens! Let's see if he has any complications.
Well.
Oh my god. Do you want this to be a story thing?
Yeah, sure, the story thing.
Ulster, make me a dexterity check, please.
10.
10. Okay. As Kev falls, he falls into you, and you guys are pushed around a sharp turn. Only just, though, avoiding a whole large kind of like stack of barrels that look like they might have been about to fall on you. And the two of you fall into an alleyway, just kind of nestled between 2 buildings. Kev underneath you, Ulster, and you at his side. Both take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
What?
As you,
That's so much.
I'm sorry, it says 1 to
Jesus
4.
Christ.
You whack your head on the ground, and you kind of like see stars in your eyes, your vision blurring, your eyes watering, and Kev is like low-key cried next to you, and you feel from his arm beneath the cloak where you're kind of holding him, warmth beginning to spread.
Sorry, I'm just...
Don't worry. And you guys are floored, and I'm going to say that the bandits are... If you don't do something about this soon, you're going to be gaining on you. Okay, right. Kev has fallen with an actual 1. Next up, it has to be that random guard.
The blue belly bandit! I got him!
He's in the chase now. 2. So he's not really on anyone's side, but he is trying to stop you. So that's good for you guys. 18, but he also doesn't get impeded, so he's just got his spear. He's just chasing you, Blue. He's like, wasn't that one? I'm pretty sure it's this guy. Come back here.
Get back here.
And next up we have Edge. Oops, that was a mistake. Should have kept the mistake, but it's okay. I was being honest. Ooh, okay. She also does not start gaining on you, but she does not get any extra obstacles either. 10 and 9. One of the bandits that was following Edge, who was there when you guys first started this chase, seeing you to fall into the side of the street, tries to sort of like turn and like jump in on you. But in doing so, he just falls flat on his face and also takes bludgeoning damage. He takes 2 points of bludgeoning damage, catching himself. He's like, oh, and like pulls up on his legs. Right, on his legs, on his hands. So give me 5 seconds whilst I just figure out how much you've gained. Okay. So
You lost your money, Loran.
not good. 18 plus 17 plus 15 plus 21
Battle.
divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Kev really didn't do you favors there.
No, I know.
Actually, let me just check. Sorry, guys. Let me just check I added that up right. I didn't add that up right.
Math. You forget how integral it is to D&D.
Excuse me. Kev still didn't do you any favors, but he did you more favors than he previously did you. With a 14 average versus... They rolled real shit, so you're doing real well. Real well.
Except we're on the floor bleeding.
Yeah, would Sparks be able to see that like Kev and Brian are both injured?
Are we blocked by barrels now?
You wouldn't be able to see that they're injured, but you'd be able to see that they've split off from your group.
Did I hear a loud thwack?
You hear Kev's whimpers.
Oh, great heavens.
Great heavens.
Okay, so they got an average of 9. You guys got an average of 14. So what I'm going to say, because I'm not sure how, I think this is the best way to do it, is that because the difference between your rolls is more than 4, you guys are at a point now in this round where if you want to, you can stealth to hide, or you can take other actions in order to keep the bandits at bay. They're not in threat of catching up to you. Okay, so this is now going to function a bit more like a regular chase where you can choose what you do with your turn. Okay. Now, where are you? Everybody except Ulster and Kev, you guys have made it to the docks. You are about 15 feet from the Rand's ship. All you have to do is cross to the edge of the dock, climb up the rigging. Well, it's not really rigging. It's more like climb up the gangplank. That's it. Thank you. That they've put out, and make it to his deck. Once you're on the deck, you feel you're safe. The pursuers, the bandits, they are just behind the dock itself, but they look like they might, even though they're discombobulated, even though they're slowed down, they look like they might have paused. And you realise, I see. So now Ulster and Kev aren't here, so they're probably looking for them. With that in mind, first in the order is Sparks. What would you like to do?
I think she would try and locate Brian and Kev. She could probably carry one of them.
Okay, so you're going
So
to
I
head
think-
back rather than heading towards the dock?
Yes, I'd like to try and do that.
Okay, so you're going to rush backwards. Make me... Well, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 11.
11. Okay, right. I'm going to say you can hear and see sort of where one of the bandits has fallen. But you can't see the others. So you just think, okay, well, if I head there, I might be able to find them. And sure enough, it is in the same kind of area. And you see both Auster and Kev are quite injured at this point. And there is a bandit in front of them. About 5 feet away.
Ooh. Is this the one who's fallen, or is this someone else chasing?
This is the one who's fallen.
Okay. I think if Blue's able, if Sparks is able to help Brian up, and then also just scoop Kev up because it seems like he's slow.
Also would not let you touch him. He would practically throw Kev at you as if, like, to say, take Kev. He would not let you touch him.
Okay. Right. Okay. And then I think Blue would start running back with Kev, and as soon as she can, do lay on hands for like 2 hit points.
Okay, so that'll be in your next turn if you get a next turn. So in this
Right.
turn, you can you use your movement to get back to them. Use your action to then pick up Kev and kind of hold on to him. And you can maybe just turn around and start heading back towards the ship. But you have lost some ground. So you've lost your chance to do your stuff at this point. But that's your choice. Okay. Next up is Loran. And Loran, depending, realizing the situation he's in, rushes forward to the ship and starts clambering up the gangplank. And it takes him just 2 steps to leap up to the deck. And he looks back and he watches. And you see him fiddling with something. You feel like he's got the carpet.
He's getting the keys to the engine. He's trying to
Starting it up.
Next up is bandit number 2. Bandit number 2 did not fall down. But Bluey, I think, as you lose your gain on him, he is also going to take an action rather than to dash for you. He is going to come up and attack you. And I just really need to quickly get the monster manual. It's right here.
Am I able to protect Kev?
You can use your body as partial cover if you want to. But you will be taking a cut to your armor class.
If I need to make sure I want to make sure that Kev does not lose any more hit points.
Hang on a sec. Just slay
Slay your enemies.
Let me just get to that. I need to find out the covers. I love this so much. I'm so obsessed with this dungeon screen. Anyway. Cover. Where are you? I know it's in here. Cover. Half cover. I reckon you can do half cover. Which is a +2 bonus to AC for Kev. And a -2 for yourself.
All right.
Or you can do a 3/4 cover, and it'll be a +5 bonus for Kev and a -5 for yourself.
Half cover, please.
Half cover. Okay, so you're going to just, whilst you're holding Kev, you're going to take off a -2 to your AC. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if that intent changes at any point, then let me know. Yeah. Hey. G. Attacking you. It should be. It should be in the monster manual. I can't see it. I'm just being on play characters actually. Sorry guys, give me 5 seconds. Mastiff! A weird, terrifying Ulster spider.
Up around.
Bats! Sorry guys, I'm just going through this. Yeah, that's all I get. Bandits, here we are. Okay, so right. The bandit's going to rush up to you, Bluey, and is going to take out their scimitar, and they are going to whack you, hopefully, with it.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Ooh. That's 22.
Yep, those hits.
Okay. You're going to take 1d6 plus 1 slashing damage.
Oh, far.
That's 5 slashing damage.
5 total.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, is that like half your health?
Not quite.
I'm on 7.
Nice. Oh my god. Level 1. Level 1.
Level 1 where one hit could kill you.
Can I just say, if Kev hadn't fallen over, you guys could have potentially avoided all of this. But Kev is a silly bean.
But we took Kev with us.
You took Kev with you. Right. Now, next up, the bandit at this point says, if I were you, I'd recommend staying down.
Was that to Bluey?
To Bluey, yeah. And
Okay.
also too.
How far away is this?
So we've got.
Now he's 5 feet away from you, but he used his move. Cass, it's your go. You can either move onto the deck or you can go back and help.
Okay, so just so I know, we've got one bandit who fell over, who's not quite there yet. One bandit who just stabbed Bluey.
Those bandits are now
Edge?
next to each other.
And where's Edge?
Edge is just about 15 feet behind them.
Okay. Cass is going to shout over her shoulder, I'll see you when you get the carpet. And then she's going to run and she's going to magic missile.
Okay.
The bandit, two darts to the bandit that just, actually 3 darts to the bandit that just stabbed Bluey. Because fuck him.
Fuck him.
So that is. Let me roll my magic missile. Hang on. Where are you? D4. 1, 2, 3. Roll. Okay, that is. 13.
13 beats it.
Oh no, it's automatic hit. That's the damage.
Oh, 13 damage. Okay. You see, you kind of like throw the magic missile forwards, and it just like a firecracker sparks at her feet, and she hisses and jumps back and puts out a fire on the foot of her cloak. She looks up at you angrily, but she doesn't do anything else. Excuse me.
Are they not level 1? Did 13 damage not kill them?
Edge.
No. This was to the bandit that stabbed Bluey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. No, that does kill.
That's what I was like. I knew Edge wasn't going to be level 1, but I was like, surely her.
Sorry. Okay, you set you set this dude on fire. He's like, ah! And Wilhelm screams and then throws himself into the sea, but then like comes back up like.
I think when you set someone on fire, Ulster does freeze on the ground. He's like,
He is dead.
Hang on,
Good.
Cass, was that lethal damage that you sent out?
Yeah, it was.
it was, bitch.
I shot to kill, baby.
Yeah.
Shoot to kill.
when Big Ed sees you shoot to kill one of his friends, nay, his comrades, he lets out an agonized "Ah,
Susan!
why? I thought we had something special.
I let you call me Sex Ed.
Why would you call me?" Now,
Amazing.
you've kind of come back. How far away from Ulster and Kev would you say you are?
I'm getting as close as possible to them so I can
Okay, so
put
you can
myself
be
between them and
You
the
can be about,
bandits.
5 to 10 feet away if you want to.
Okay.
Can
Can I put myself between them and the bandits?
You can, yeah. You'd have to be 5 feet away. You'd be as close as you can be.
Yeah,
The
so
bandit
I'm in
captain, who was
between.
known as Big Ed, at this point, rushes up to you and pulls out his scimitar, looks at it and goes, "No," puts it away, and reaches forward and grabs you by the neck.
Oh my god.
And he's going to try and strangle you. So that is going to be 16.
Meets it, beats it.
Okay. That's his first attack. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as he starts crushing around your neck and you start thrashing. Second attack. I don't think this is going to hit. As he kind of does this again and slams you down against the ground. 5 plus 2, 7. You kind of manage to get away and you kind of like turn over and start like picking yourself back up, but he gets one.
Can I just say that as he does that, I blow him a kiss?
He's like, "Oh, I'm into this." Oh no. And this one is going to hit. So another 16.
I should have hit him with the magic missile.
Sorry.
You're gonna kill Big Ed? Not up and love
Yeah,
it.
I did go for the one that had already stabbed the friend. Well, not even a friend, but
You can't kill Big Ed.
I think you underestimate Cass at this point.
You just have to try
He's supposed to be a recurring NPC.
What was his
Tear
second name?
rolls from his cheek, down his cheek as he delivers upon to you 3 more points of damage.
How you looking, Cass?
At half health.
Oh,
Okay.
One more attack like that, and I will be dead.
Ulster, it's your turn.
Am I right next to this?
You are.
I have a question because healing word is a bonus action, and I'm gonna just mute myself so you don't know my plan. Right, so Ulster, seeing the situation with Cass, is gonna reach forward and grab what he can of Cass's skin, and he's gonna touch. He doesn't have to touch her, but I think he wants to make sure it's her and not Big Ed that he's targeting. And
How
cast.
do you move in to do that?
They're right next to him, right?
Yeah, you guys are 5 feet away from each other.
So he'll move right up to them.
Okay.
He'll cast, as a bonus action, he'll cast Healing Word on Cass for 3 HP back, plus, I think,
Nice.
is it plus anything, or is it just
3 HP.
Give me a second.
plus 3, so 6 back.
Oh, nice. So back up to full.
And he is then going to try, I think he can do this because Big Ed's right there. He's going to try and get almost on top of Big Ed. And his fingernails are going to sharpen again, and he's going to slash him across the neck.
Okay.
And that is a 18 plus 5, so 23 to hit. And it's a d10. 9 points of acid damage.
9 points of acid damage. He goes, "Ah!" Now, the wound isn't deep enough to go through the jugular, but what it does do is it carves across his chest. You just kind of miss the key points, and he starts bleeding. and his skin starts bubbling around your scratch. Okay, that's Big Ed. Sorry, Big Ed. Now, also, is there anything else you want to do or say with your turn?
I think he looks up at Bluey and Kev and just says, "Go."
Okay. Astra, it's your go.
So what is the current situation that I am looking at?
You see a pile of people fighting each other. 3 of them are people you recognize as your allies, and 2 of them are people you recognize as your enemies. Behind them, you see another bandit and Edge watching this exchange approaching. Loran is on the docks. Not the docks, the boat.
Am I within 60 feet of this kerfuffle? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty violent kerfuffle.
Yeah.
It's already fatal for someone.
So, assessing this situation, Astra will kind of reach out a hand towards this combat. And can one of the bandits who looks to be like the most threat, so I guess that's Big Ed?
Yeah.
Can Big Ed roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, Big Ed. Oh,
I should.
8. Oh, wait, saving throw? Wait.
Yes.
10.
Oh, how's he even +3 wisdom? He's Big Ed.
He's got +2. +2 to his saving throw. He's got a 0 wisdom.
And because of Brian's attack, he is missing HP, correct?
It is true, yes.
That is another 9 damage as you see Big Ed kind of like clasp his ears. So like he can hear something that nobody else around him can.
Is this Dissonant Whispers?
No, this is Toll the Dead.
Oh, stunning. He's like,
I love Toll the Dead.
For 9 necrotic damage.
Lovely. Okay, now, if Big Ed wasn't so big, that could have felled him, but he's a big man. And he's got big peas. Big HP. But you were right to target your big spell at him. Do you want to use any of your movement?
Before I move, I would like to... who looks terrible?
Kev doesn't look very good. Ulster
Also looks equal to Kev, yeah.
and Kev don't look very good. They're right next to each other.
I can do a small amount of healing if you'd like to take care of Brian.
Okay, hang on. Okay, it's got to be quick. Who looks the most bloody?
Ulster's covered in Big Ed's blood, so you can't tell what's his blood and his own blood.
Okay, that's... Ulster is going to get the heal in that case.
Okay.
So Ulster takes 7 back as action was Toll the Dead, bonus action is Healing Word. And Astra keeps running for the docks.
Thank you.
Okay. As you turn and you sort of start to run, Astra, you hear Kev yelp and be like, take it! And he casts Frostbite at the bandit captain.
Tickets?
Which actually hits, which is pretty good. Well done, Kev.
That was the first spell
Yes.
to ever cast in the original campaign.
Big Ed takes 5 points of damage and he goes,
Good job, Kev!
He's got a little bit of like an icicle on his nose. The guard then says, wait, so much is happening. Everybody stand down. Does nothing.
It's the Blue Belly Bandit.
Which
one of you is?
Now, Astra, as you start running towards the ship, do you get on the ship or do you stay on the docks? It's up to you.
Astra is going to kind of try and take a position that is like defensible, but wanting to keep eyesight on this in case they need to do something else.
So, like, for example, at the foot of the gangplank.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. So, as this is
it blue belly or blue bellied?
the bellied bandit, because that's more of a tongue twister. As this happens, Edge yells, "Right. I think we've had enough of this." And she holds up 3 magic missiles. And she twirls them around her fingers and she says, "I could do more of these." Well, that's a gamble, isn't it? If I'm able to, if I have that much power. 3 might not kill your friends or hurt them.
Who's she speaking to?
All of you.
Okay.
Mostly Astra and Loran.
Okay.
Run away if you like. But I might then have to use these. Again. And she throws 3 magic missiles. 1 is going to go to you, Bluey. 1 is going to go to you, Cass. And 1 is going to go to you, Ulster.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That is 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh, not bludgeoning, excuse me, force damage.
To each of us?
I think you do.
Okay.
And she uses her movement then to walk towards you, Ulster.
So how much was the damage?
4. She uses her bonus action to equip a dagger in her hand, and she presses it up to your throat, and then is like, "Well, maybe this will be more effective for you." And she presses it to Kev's instead.
In Sparks' arms?
Ah, never mind. Then she holds it out to you two,
Hold it out to who?
Kev and Bluey together, and she says, "I know I'll live longer."
So she's figured out who Ulster is then.
I'll live longer if you want to keep fighting.
Can I return it all to this, or
You can talk. Talking's a free action.
Can I do anything to enhance what I'm saying as I talk?
It depends what you say.
Okay, I will tell you what Ulster wants to do. Ulster is bleeding again. And he looks around. He looks at Kev, who he knows is not a good fighter. Looks at Bluey, who is also bleeding, and he will whip out a dagger from his own pocket and hold it to his own throat and say, "Okay, and I know you don't want to damage the merchandise, so let them go."
Ooh. Ooh. Louis looks, I think, really alarmed at that. Like, oh.
Yeah, Cass is like, what? Oh, Rama!
This kid is like crazy, guys.
Okay. So that Edge has 1 reply before we restart the round, and we can see what goes on. And that is, "You're a fool if you think death is the end, and that we couldn't bring you back from it. We're more than just bandits." At which point, bandit number 1, which is the one who fell over after trying to get you and Kev also. seeing you grab and put a knife to your throat, is going to attempt to grapple you. So can you please make a, you could do athletics or acrobatics against his strength.
I'm gonna go for
How many,
acrobatics.
Yes, that's fine.
how many
17.
bandits are there?
So there's
19.
dead bandits.
Edge, and 2 more.
Yeah, so one is dead. Then there
Yeah.
is Big Ed, Edge, and another bandit. So
Yeah.
3 total at the moment that you can see.
19.
19. Okay. Brawl goes to the hitter. Also, you feel a hand clasp around your wrist where you have the knife. You guys can choose to fight back if you wish.
Not if it's our turn. Not our turn though, right?
What are all your passive perceptions?
15.
15?
Not good.
14.
14.
Let's see, hang on.
When you look over at the ship, Loran is
12.
standing there watching all of you. As you're kind of like tense, looking around, assessing the situation, you notice that whilst there are 3 bandits engaged with you, also you see the shadows moving down the alleyway behind you. You see figures obscuring entrances to buildings you didn't notice before. You are surrounded for having waited this long to escape.
By bandits.
Bandits. Big Ed is grappling you, and Edge says, I recommend you come quietly. If you would prefer to wait and see what it's like to die.
Talking's free action, right?
Yeah.
Ulster drops the dagger. Let them go.
Looks at Cass, Bluey, Sparks, Astra, and you.
And you're a fool to think that I need that. And he looks down at the dagger. So let them go.
Is this your surrender? If I agree, you'll come quietly?
Sure.
Restrain them, just so they don't try anything. And if you'll allow it, some of the shadows move to come and surround you.
All of us?
Yeah.
If any of the bandits make any move to hurt anyone, Ulster will retaliate. He won't go quietly.
Cass is going to message. Can Cass message Loran? And just be like, thoughts?
Thoughts, feelings?
Opinions?
Loran says, don't let them kill him. It'd be best to get the measure of our enemy.
So go quietly.
You just feel a nod of affirmation in your direction rather than see it.
Okay.
Ulster, you look over at Loran, who's standing on the ship, watching, and you see, similar to yourself, his claws have sharpened, his features slightly elongated, his eyes are glowing, he's watching, prepared. But he's more than 60 feet away from you.
Ulster looks away.
The bandits don't touch your friends, if you can call them that now. Kev yelps when they come close and just says, "Get your hands off him!" And
I can hear the cat.
Kitty cat. Big Ed has. Where is it? No, sorry, excuse me. Bandit number 1, who is holding you.
Little Johnny.
Little Johnny.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Little Johnny, who's been holding you, sort of stands up and starts walking you over to Edge. And he's like, "All right then." And just as you're in front of Edge, he lets go of you, and Edge is looking at you, all stern. Sleep now. How many hit points do you have?
7.
7.
Wait, can't
So,
magical sleep not affect elven people?
It's true.
you think that she's going to use magic on him?
Oh, yeah.
As she takes the dagger and she cuts it across your neck.
Oh no. Oh. Can
7's a pretty even number as you get down to 0 HP and you're knocked unconscious. But luckily, like she said, there are ways to come back.
Why are there so many people who want to behead Ulster? Must be a royalist.
Cass looks over to the Rad and just is like, it happened so fast.
Are we allowed to act in this moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ulster is unconscious.
I mean, Slia would close the distance between 60 feet and is gonna burn another healing word. Like, that's all that's all she's gotta do.
You can't run 60 feet and around and also
No.
have
She
action.
needs to have she only needs to be within 60 feet is what I was saying.
Yeah, that's fine. You could do that on your turn.
Okay.
So I'm on death saves.
Yeah. Because, don't forget. Edge has a deal. And she says, "You don't need to worry. Just come quietly."
Cass, I wanted to go with sex ed anyway, so sure.
Wait, is she taking them anyway?
Taking them anyway, yeah, of course.
Bitch, I'm gonna eat you.
Now, Slia, you know the difference between lethal and non-lethal damage.
Oh no, slash throat seems pretty lethal to me.
Yeah. That's why I'm like,
it's a good aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you can't non-lethally slash someone.
yeah,
across
I was
the
gonna
throat.
say you
That's
can
not-
whack him on the head.
D&D. I can do whatever I want. No, okay, fine. I will whack him on the back of the head then.
Okay. You've sent the cleric into a nerves, you know.
You're so boring. You know, all I wanted to do was
Kill
make
Ulster.
Ulster even paler than he already was. All I wanted to do
It's not possible.
all I wanted to do was have a good image of Ulster bleeding. But no.
He can bleed from being hit on the head.
Yeah.
You do occasionally forget.
So I retcon that. You get knocked unconscious by the end of her dagger.
I forget the milk.
Yeah. That's settled. Do the rest of you put up any more struggle?
I think Bluey would would heal Kev. I think 2 HP. She's gonna She's gonna keep 2 more. Lay on hands, sort of like crying a little, and then smudging it on him.
Wonderful.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Bluey heals people by crying now. It's fun. Now,
You're a phoenix.
wrap up just in time for Anna. I'm sorry, we're a little bit delayed. If it's all okay with you, you're blindfolded and gagged.
All of us.
And the last thing you see is Loran, as bandits start to swarm the foot of his ship, jumping off the edge. But you don't hear a splash when he should have hit the water.
Mm. He did the perfect dive.
Perfect dive. Exactly. Also, I'm sorry for scaring you and almost slashing your throat open.
Mm.
It would have been fun. But because you guys...
I think a throat slash is pretty lethal.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because you guys clearly don't understand fantasy.
Arteries work the same way in fantasy, right?
No. There are like magical weapons that don't cause lethal damage. Edge doesn't necessarily have one of those, but I could have said that, but I didn't. I admitted I was wrong and changed my ways.
Do you want a medal?
Yes.
I mean, Emma's already got the 5-star medal for completing a level up to level 20 campaign, so we're just adding icing on top of the cake now.
Stop inflating Emma's ego. I have to live with this.
Now, the reason I was so desperate for you guys to actually get captured is because this is a very key point of the original campaign.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you didn't experience it, you would have been missing out. So, you are surrounded by darkness as the bandits take you all hostage.
If I'm unconscious, does that mean I get a short/long rest?
No,
Why?
for fun. But you guys will be getting a long rest in a cell.
Cool.
Yay.
You guys, after this experience, have successfully graduated to level 2.
Yay!
We're level 2?
Level 2. Because I don't like
my-
to hang out at level 1 for any much longer than I have to.
No, it's a shit level.
But it's
So frustrating.
It's an important experience.
I can pick my domain.
Yeah.
Got a font of magic.
Moon.
Wonderful. Right, lads. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry about the kerfuffle. And thank you for bearing with me whilst we try out some new rules. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm going to think about whether I'll keep these. I might try some new stuff. This is the fun game where we try fun things. Like
Nice.
slashing people's throats open. Non-lethally. I love you, Lily.
Why do people want to do this to Ulster? What does he do to provoke murder?
He's like just so murderable.
But guess what? Now that you guys have all cast magic / done really cool things in front of these bandits, they're starting to think, wow, we've got a full group of merchandise on our hands. We've got a whole ton of people we could sell off.
Who are you selling them to?
Who knows? I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I hope you're all excited to know that I've chosen a fighting style called interception.
Ooh.
Love it.
Which-
Love it, love it, love it.
Is if 5 feet away from an ally being attacked, I can use a reaction to reduce the damage to the ally by 1d10 plus proficiency. As long as I'm wielding a shield or a simple or martial weapon.
Very nice. My computer is about to die. I haven't been able to plug it in.
Right.
Small moment
Right.
of clarification,
Oh, hang
though.
on.
Yes.
Is Kev captured with us?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Also, are we manually rolling our hit points from now on?
Yes, unless you get a 1 or a 2.
Okay.
Which means you can roll it.
All right.
Alright,
Thank you.
I'm gonna go before my computer dies, but love you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you.
We'll
Thank you
pick
so
the
much.
next Session date.
Because George is leaving in March, so we'll work that out.
Yeah,
later.
now the next session will be 2 weeks from now, roughly. And we'll also, if possible, plan the session after that, so that Georgia, if you do want to play, then you have as much time as possible to know, like as much notice as possible. But can we maybe try and plan the session before the end of next week, so before Friday?
I have to go, guys, because I don't want my computer to die. Bye bye. Love you.
Have
Have a good week. Bye bye.